Hi, everyone. Hi, hello. It's Jane Tara from Better Reading. This is Better Reading B. And yeah, Better Reading B. It's a little different to What Are You Reading? We talk about the books that fall within the self development or the wellness genre. And it's really my, as Cheryl calls it, the woo woo area. But I do try to deliver some books to you that fall that actually cover a lot of ground. So some inspiring memoirs, self-development books. What else have I got here? I've got an old favourite of mine that I'm going to show you today. So I'm going to start with this one, which is a little different, and it's called Feng Shui Modern. And I was talking to someone about feng shui the other day, and I really love it. Like, it's not like my whole house is, an experiment in feng shui, but you know, you can feel the energy in your home if things are sort of out of whack. And sometimes, if your life is a little bit out of whack or you're feeling a little overwhelmed, clearing clutter or moving things around, shifting things around can sometimes be the starting point for, a shift in energy in your life. Now, this guy, Cliff Tan, he became really famous on TikTok. He's actually an architect, and he uses feng shui principles in his work. And so on TikTok, he started just sharing some real basic things you can do room by room in your home, and he became a bit of a TikTok sensation. And I know that, many of you might not be on TikTok. I've recently started a TikTok account just because we did at work as well, and also because I like to stalk my children. But I've noticed that it's not just kind of weird dancing and stuff, which I thought it was. There's actually a lot of people on there talking about specific subject areas in kind of short bursts. So it can be quite interesting if you fill your feed with interesting people. So anyway, Cliff Tan is on there. He's got a massive following, and it's a little hardback, so it's a cute little book. And I thought I'd just show you bathroom here. So you can see beautiful illustrations. And what he takes you through here is the explanation of the bathroom, the feeling and the best plan for a bathroom. And then, it's kind of tip by tip, just bullet points, tips of how to actually make your bathroom feel wonderful when you go into it. So, sometimes you might even have a house or an apartment that you like generally, but there's one room you kind of, it just doesn't have the right feel. Sometimes you just need to, like, do a little bit of feng shui or something like that, shift the energy up. Anyway, cute little book. It's a cute little gift book as well, and I quite liked it, actually. um Now, the next one I'm going to, oh, hi, look, everyone's there. I didn't switch over to comments. Hi. Oh, look, hello. We've got Caroline, Christine, Michelle, Denise, Melissa, Tanya, Leonie, Tammy, and Jennifer. Ah, great. All right. So tell me here what you're reading, and in particular in the Better Reading B, or the B genre. So it's, be well, be inspired, be happy, be, you know, be, be. Now, this one is a little different. So I would say this one is be better, be informed, maybe. So, memories and elephants, the art of casual racism. Now, Megan Catrack Harris wrote this book. It is a slim volume of essays, and it is exactly what it says. It's the art of casual racism and how her family experienced it. Megan is, to my understanding, Megan is white. Her husband and children are Aboriginal. So this is their lived experience in Australia and the lived experience of so many Aboriginal people. set over decades. She starts the book by talking about how she had all these stories in her head, and sort of they demanded to be written and shared. And I'm so glad she did, because she is such a beautiful writer, and it's really thought provoking, this book. Um, One of the things that, so I'll say here that the father of my children is Asian, so I do have a little bit of experience of that casual racism that you get, that the surprise of a choice in partner, or that your children are sort of look different to you or whatever. So I understand it. Of course, this is magnified, the experience of Aboriginal people in Australia. But it's not just that. At the end of it, there is this chapter that really got me thinking, actually. One of the essays is on how we have really embraced the imperfect mother sort of conversation, where we get to say, well, we forgot to pick our kids up from school, or we didn't do this, or we didn't do that with our kids. And I'm a part of this as well. I love that conversation, because I feel it's sort of we've shaken things up for women, and you don't have to be perfect as a mum. I'd never considered that a lot of the things that I take for granted when I talk about my imperfect parenting are actually privilege, from a point of privilege. So I think it's the second last essay in this, really got me thinking, because there are so many women of colour out there who could not say that they forgot to pick their kid up from school, or forgot to feed them, which I do on a regular basis, or did when my kids were young. So that was great. It was great, and I learned something. And I think when you're talking about be books, be informed, be curious, be better. So thank you, Megan, for this really great read. I really, really loved it. And I think it'd go really well on the school curriculum. Another one, curious habits. So we are we all have habits. We have habits that we practice in our life, but we also have habitual thinking. And Luke Mathers takes this on and gets us to become the observer of our habits, and then to change the ones that don't work for us. Now, he is the founder of Specsavers in Australia. He's a very successful businessman who is now like a coach for the mind. And he just did a podcast with Cheryl, so it'll be really, really interesting to hear that when it comes out, and we will certainly let you know when it does. I'm nearly finished it. I haven't quite finished it, but it's a really interesting take on, your habitual ways, and which ones to give up, which ones you don't need anymore. So curious habits. Have a look at that, and I will talk about this next month as well, because I'll have finished the book then, and I will let you know what I think of the whole thing. Now, the next book, it's kind of sitting there, and I'm reluctant to talk about it too much at the moment. I might have to talk about it next month, because it made me very emotional. But it's also so well written. I did just finish this morning, so maybe give me a couple of weeks. It's so well written. Now, a few years ago, there was a book called Emergency Sex and Other Desperate Measures, Other Desperate Measures, Emergency Sex and Other Desperate Measures, written by 3 aid workers. And it was a massive bestseller, and I loved it. I really loved it. You know, it's that gripping story of life in these, you know, refugee camps, and you know, as an aid worker and stuff, and also the relationships between the other workers. And you know, so it was a really great insightful read. So this is that and more. uh, so Anna she delivered her first baby, and she wasn't even a fully, you know, trained midwife at 26. By 27, she was in charge of 3,000 women and their health care at a camp in Bangladesh. This is the story of her, sort of her career as an aid worker and life as an aid worker and experiences. And at the back of it, it's in memory to a whole list of people who, many of them, you really get to know their story through this, and also her own personal experiences with birth, women's healthcare, both overseas and back home in the UK. So that's all I'm going to say at the moment, because I am really, you know, when a book really just moves you very, very deeply and kind of just shakes you up, this one has done that to me. It's so well written, it's compelling, it's great. Like, seriously, it's great. But do know that it is a difficult read, well, for many women. All right, who have we got here? Any books, any mentions of books? Be reflective of community. The Cane, Jennifer. Be reflective of community. That's very true. Malvina, hi Malvina, a nice afternoon to join you. Absolutely. Let me know what areas of the whole Be self-development thing you're interested in, and I can find those books and start to introduce them. Now, one thing, we've started a Better Reading Bee Instagram account. So if you're on there, we're really going to sort of up that with more books and more book suggestions. So go on to Better Reading Bee Instagram, and also like Better Reading Instagram and Better Reading Kids while you're there. Now, the account on Instagram, I've been getting some messages asking me what is one of my favorite bee books ever. So I thought I would bring it in today and I would show you. This is my go-to, my favorite. Look, I've got lots of favorites. I've got lots of favorites. But like, if I was stuck on a desert island with one book, I would probably take Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I think is amazing. I think he is fantastic, and that he has a formula for looking at yourself and reinventing yourself is the wrong thing, but really kind of breaking those habits that don't serve you well. And, you know, and by doing that bit by bit, like the small habitual changes, which, you know, Luke Mavers talks about here as well, those small changes over time add up to major changes in your life. So Dr. Joe Dispenza in this, he combines the fields of quantum physics, neuroscience, brain chemistry, biology, genetics to show you what's truly possible. So I have read this book about 3 times, because each time I have just a deeper understanding of it. And I really think that anyone who seriously wants to find peace in their life starts here in your head. This is really one of the best books that you could read on that. So that's it for today. I will be back with more bee books next time. Avril, hi Avril, hi. Frontline Midwife sounds like exactly the kind of book I love. Give it a go and let me know what you think, actually, because it's really well written. Like, you tear through it, it's really great. But yeah, it's sort of as well. So we'll talk about it next month when when I can. Um, The Third Space by Adam Fraser really impacted my style for me about transitioning from work. Oh, great. I will have a look at that. Thanks, Jennifer. I will have a look. Meredith, silly me, just tuned in. We'll watch later. Definitely do. And Tanya, thank you. And I will see you all next month. And just please keep writing comments. If you're reading something in the sort of B genre, mention it here or go onto Instagram and write a comment, because I love looking them up. I love looking these books up to see what has actually made an impact on you. All right. I'll see you next time.